about 3 steps on his defender, but just could not convert. DeLong once again needs some time. Flush from the pocket. Open in the middle. Did Bowman catch it? Nope. They said it hit the ground.
Yeah, it looks like it did pop out there just on the other side of him there on the far side of your screen. But, man, Tim, that was another one. Some great looks here coming here in the second quarter, or the second half, excuse me.
A.J. DeLong tried to square up those shoulders. You know, when you're flushed and running to his left and throwing it back against the grain, a young quarterback sometimes loses his accuracy, and that ball was floating just a little. Bowman was open in the middle in the seam. They'll go for it in 4th and 10 near midfield, will the Indians. 8:47, third quarter. Down 27-8, and Coach Gadberry's going to take a timeout. We'll keep it right here. RE Dynamics is a full-service real estate office out of Pontiac with over 35 years combined experience. David Wayman, Ryan Rich, and Donna Sartoris provide the best service in every area of a client's needs, buying or selling a home. Commercial and investment properties are simply providing a free market analysis on your house. Not only do they serve the local communities, they support and live in these communities as well. Give David, Ryan, and Donna a call, 815-844-HOME today. All right, let's see if out of the, I don't know how many plays you got on 4th and 10. See if the Indians can pull a rabbit out of the hat here and convert.
Well, if I remember right, Tim, the last time the Indians were on this really 4th and long, 3rd and long, Coach Gadberry calls a timeout, and we go long to Kerr Bowman. Maybe we can see something like that again.
I suggest Kerr runs down the middle of the field fast as he can and chuck the ball to him. Let's see. Well, they're trying a little give and go, and fake. Bowman was in the flat. King was running the down and up. But the timing wasn't there, as you could see.
Well, and Tim, really, there was some kind of holdup here on the near side with Amazing King. The referee's talking now. Indian sideline was signaling for a flag. They wanted one. It looks like there's going to be a conversation. There's no rag on the gridiron, though, right now.
I certainly don't see a flag.
They are having a conference, though, here on the 45.
I agree with you.
Oh, no, Tim, actually, there is one right here. I can kind of see over one of our players. There is one down here right about the 39, right in front of number 59, James Thurston. I do see it as I'm kind of standing up and peeking over.
All right. Well, if there is a hanky down, there's a distinct possibility King was held on that down and up route here on the near side. There it is. This should be enough for a first down. Let's see where that final spot comes. Sure is. Thank you, Sages. The Indians catch a break. That was a different wrinkle. First time King had been targeted. And even though he doesn't make the catch, something positive happens. 8:32 to go in the third. Indians down by 19. This time Riley Johnson trying to get through the left side there, the left tackle, and nowhere to go. Elijah Hartke, number 57, slow to get up, one of those offensive linemen, but actually Hartke is your center. Indians certainly not deep. Very young squad. Have to rely on some freshmen trying to piece it together. Well, it says first down, but I think it's second down. We'll double check on that. Over the middle, King was open. DeLong could not connect to him.
There's a flag here in the backfield, though, Tim.
Okay.
And
holding against the Indians.
Well, another case, Tim, of King was in there right area. Just ball didn't quite match up there with him.
Well, one of two things happened. DeLong did not throw to the right shoulder, or King did not run the precise route where he was supposed to be.
Correct.
And I don't know which is which, but they just could not connect.
Maybe some miscommunication there.
Yep.
We've seen it twice here pretty quick.
Well, this becomes 2nd and 20. Johnson up the middle. Johnson's got room at the 40. Johnson 35, 30, down to the 20. And Riley Johnson, the longest run of the Indians for the night. They get it back. 1st and 10, Pontiac.
Man, I wish we had that there in the first quarter. In the first half, Tim, there was a great run by Riley Johnson, able to get down the field and picked up a lot of yardage.
And that's why you keep running the plays, and you got to have, a balance between pass and run. You got to keep it knocking. They said he stepped out at the 22, 1st and 10. Johnson again, spinning, might have got a couple. I like the kids. We've had a couple second halves where it looks like, I won't use the phrase give up, but when you get beat up so bad, it's like crying uncle. I don't see that tonight. Part of it's being at home. Still a nice crowd here. Not, a few people might have went home at halftime. The students certainly are here. Really impressed with the community and the support here in homecoming that the kids are receiving. They said only a gain of 1. 2nd and 9. Ball pops up in the air. DeLong's fortunate to come back up with it. I don't know if the snap was high or he just wasn't ready for it. Miscommunication. A loss in the play. 3rd and long.
See, Tim, I think it may have just came back a little higher than usual, and I think it just hit his hand wrong and popped up there. But, yeah, I'm not sure if A.J. DeLong was quite ready for it either, though.
Again, these plays, as you can see, get signaled in from the sideline. Both teams actually do it. DeLong stepping back, trying to find Bowman. Look out, it's picked off. Trying to set up a wall. That might have been Welter. Sure is. Trey Welter, the coach's son, comes up with the 2nd pick of the ball game. 3rd interception of the night, if I remember right. Boy, you just can't throw that football up for grabs, and that's what it was that time. He threw into double coverage that A.J. DeLong, and the youngster, I bet, is a good one for them all year long. Again, this is Foreign, Carter Foreign, and he comes up with a catch, and that's enough to move the sticks. You finally have your dream home. Now you need the right insurance to protect it, because when it comes time to file a claim, you don't want any surprises. Talk to Country Financial rep like Marlon Outs to find out if you have the right protection. He can help you understand your options and select the right insurance. Walter again. This time the Indians trying to swarm to it. That's Curtis that comes up with a hit, but not before a short gain on the play, we'll call it.
Tim, back to the community talk and Marlon Iltz. He was set up earlier in the student section parking lot tailgate area. He was hooking up burgers and lumpia for all the students. No charge or nothing. Just
that's great.
Gave out free T-shirts at game number 1 at home, and great community aspect. We had the prep rally here earlier today, and it's second to none, really. Even with a rebuilding phase, like you said, Tim, and just where we're at, the community still buys in.
Well, speaking of Country Insurance, remember, home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Casualty Insurance Company, or Country Preferred Insurance Company out of Bloomington, Illinois. Thank you, Marlon. Johnson, no, faked me out. Dumped it over to Colbert. Great tackle. I don't know if Colbert fell across the first down yards. Might have gave him the spot.
It looks like where they spotted it, it's pretty close, and they will go ahead and move the chains. He was really close there on that first initial kind of trip, Tim. He was going to go down a couple yards short, but he does limp it over and get the first down for the Sages.
Only needed a couple. Give Martinez of the Indians credit. Our corners, you know, they've had their share of problems this year, but they did not give up any space right there. That was just a well-designed play, and despite good coverage, they pick up that first down. There's the sweep. This is Foreign. Carter Foreign trying to turn the corner, breaks a tackle, and gets inside the 30, enough for another first down. And the Sage offense machine is a-moving. 3:28, third quarter.
Yeah, Tim, it looks like Ben Melcher shook up on the play, and a couple of the Indians took some hard licks here as the play was kind of moved on and progressed, but maybe a couple of Indians shaking up. It looks like Ben Melcher's not sure if he's upset with himself or just holding his head, but I'm pretty sure he did get a hard hit. Timeout Pontiac there, Tim.
So with 3:15, the Indians down 27-8. We'll keep it right here. Your State Farm agent, Greg Kurtenball, proud to be part of the Pontiac community. Stop in and see him in his new location right across from the Pontiac Post Office downtown. Remember, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And of course, fall is always an exciting time of the year, and fall is certainly in the air right around the corner with high school football, band competition, and of course, Indian homecomings. See Driscoll's in Pontiac for a dependable vehicle to get you all these activities and more. Find plenty of autumn deals at your Did It, Done It, Still Dealin' dealer. Driscoll's out there on the west side of Pontiac off Newport Road.
Hey, Tim, we have an update here. The score of Lexington, Ridgeview, and Tremont, 36-zip. Lexington Ridgeview up over Tremont in the fourth quarter.
So a couple of blowouts. Lexington, Ridgeview up big. Prairie Central on the road over IVC was up huge. Last we heard was 48-7. And a tight one, Central Catholic midway through the second quarter. We'll try to get an update again on that one. They were up 14-7 over Unity.
Well, actually, I do have an update, Tim. So it's in the 6 minutes into the third, or 6 minute mark in the third, rather. 35-7 Central Catholic up over Unity. That's a pretty big gap there.
I'm telling you, the Saints are solid. They are, no doubt about it. And before Monticello, who just picked up another first down, and they marked it at the 15, 1st and 10, as they are on the march. The old yellow hanky comes out again. I think a legal procedure. No, Indians jump in the neutral zone. That's a 5-yard walk-off against the orange and blue.
And, Tim, looking like from Illinois Valley Central at halftime, 48-7 still the score. Prairie Central up over IVC.
All right, thank you, Jake. Jake Green, a senior here, wearing many a hat. One of them is helping us out for these broadcasts. I'm Tim Scott. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast, if not the outcome at the moment. Indians down and threatening to go down even more. Teskey gets the corner. Teskey trying to find a pylon and got in. Touchdown, Monticello. Said he reached over and got it before he was pushed out of bounds. A very talented quarterback is Teskey from Monticello, and they are up 33-8. Luke Teskey, 6'1", 185-pound senior, plays like a senior, and has quarterbacked this team at the moment trying to get to 3-2.
And Wilton, the primary defense there, I believe that was Jacob Fogarty, just wasn't quite there. It was more like chase than it was trying to tackle. The secondary defense really didn't do much. It kind of helped him to get to the side there to get out of bounds, but or to look to that side anyways. But really those primary and secondary defenses on that play were kind of non-existent, Tim.
And that extra point is no good, as you could see. 2:37 to go, 33-7 is your 33-8, beg your pardon. Stoller International has been serving the Central Illinois farming community since 1935 and continues to do so today with 5 locations. They are the dealership that service built, providing Case IH, Kubota, JCB, Kins, Bobcat, Woods, MacDown, and many other name brand equipment to customers. Along with their new equipment, they also offer a wide range of used high-quality equipment. All 5 of their locations offer a full-service parts and sales department. Stop in at your local Stoller International store today. See how they can help you. Obviously, the farmers will be in the field. Some were, but I think we got anywhere from 2 to 3 inches of rain between here and Bloomington. I know that it was 2+ inches in town on a couple locations. Fields will probably be a little wet before they can get back in it. Hopefully the rains will stay away and the farmer can do his or her thing. And again, it's that time of year. Summer is officially ended. Fall just started.
And well, Tim, you bring up the point of fields. Granted, not the same surface as a cornfield or a bean field, but nonetheless, the gridiron here at Williamson Field, Superior Landscaping came in right after the rain ended today and rolled the field out like you mentioned.
Yep.
And man, it was looking great. They said it was just good enough to roll, not too soft, and it was really just that perfect mix. They got the field painted, I believe, starting at like 11:30 today. Everything got put down, the pylons, the paint, and also had a chance to get rolled. So great efforts by our custodial staff and Superior Landscaping team.
I'm sure they were hoofing it today because it rained hard this morning, no doubt about it, and overnight. Speaking of footing, that was Bowman who returned that kickoff and tried to change direction and kind of slipped and went down. That's the notable. Footing has not been an issue tonight. I'm sure some football fields in the area, if you don't have turf, there'd be a muddy mess. Not here. All right, the Indians, 2:28, third quarter. Looks like Riley Johnson, and looks like Johnson be lucky to back to the line of scrimmage on that play. Indeed, it was number 18. Getting some work here in the second half, especially with Hunter Wilson out with that banged up arm and or shoulder.
Yeah, Tim, I haven't seen him back even just on the sidelines or anything, so I'm guessing he is out getting that treated.
DeLong, this time throws short. Bowman catches it, and Kerr puts the brakes on and kind of, boy, he landed awkwardly. He's fine, but there is a Sage defender that's down. Swartz is down for Monticello. Next week, we go to Tolono Unity.
The homecoming for Coach Gadberry back to his alma mater.
Yep.
Down there in Tolono.
Tolono, what, 10, 15 miles at max, just south of Champaign, south of Savoy. Not that far outside of Champaign.
No, we'll take the trip down 47 and get on to 74, then to 57, and we'll end up with a few roads and crosses, and we'll end up in the cornfields of Tolono Unity.
Boy, I tell you, that's not a good sign for the Sages right there. That is Matt Swartz. He's being helped off. He can't even.
Yeah, there's no weight on that right foot, I believe.
Yeah. He's got a couple of teammates that are helping him off, so that's not good news. He went down and he was hurting immediately. Hopefully with the soft ground and all, that's just an ankle sprain and not a tear or a break or something like that.
And it does look like maybe some more weight coming down on, I believe it's actually the left foot that's hurt, Tim, but excuse me, on the right, but we'll kind of keep an eye on that and see where that develops.
1:33, third quarter. Third and 4. DeLong getting his troops set. Snap is clean. He's going to look to throw. Crossing route dropped but maybe stripped by Colbert. I don't know. I wouldn't certainly blame. Ball might have been thrown behind him a little bit. The intended receiver, as you can see, is Kerr Bowman.
Yeah,
and
Tim.
Colbert was right in his hip pocket, but he almost had to reach back to try to catch that ball.
Yeah, Tim, I think you're right. I think it was just a little behind him, but no doubt.
Bowman had his step.
No doubt Monticello right there on the defense on that.
Well, once again, are we going to try to go for it here? Or maybe a quick punt? Sure is. That's a quick punt by DeLong. Not a great distance. Actually gets a Sage bounce, and they're in business inside the Indian 45. That went about 15 yards, so certainly not a good punt at all. Not a whole lot the Indians can do at this point. Again, 33-8, 60 seconds to go in your third quarter. As we hit the 9 o'clock hour here at Williamson Field. Trying to set up the screenplay, and that time the Indian defense does a nice job of sniffing that one out. Ike Young was the intended receiver on that far side. A lot of orange and blue shirts. And do we have a penalty? Yes, we do. Yes. I saw Hunter Melvin react very frustrated, was 34. See him walking around out there. You wonder if he was the one that was caught. So instead of 2nd and 10, that'll set up 1st and 10. They'll move the sticks to the 34. Here comes the option. No need to pitch. Teskey's loose. Teskey might go. Turns the corner at the 10 and walks into the end zone. No one near him. Never was touched. A 34-yard run, and Monticello is on the board again with 45 seconds to go here in the third. (39-8). And I think they'll go for the conventional 1.
Yeah, it looks as if they're going to bring the field goal team out, Tim.
The kicker there is Cole Sawinski. Welter will do the honors of the hold. It looks good, and it is good. So with 45 ticks to go before the end of the third, 40-8 is your score. Monticello's pulling away. GHX is the new straight-up seed buying experience. You get a max script recommendation for the right hybrid at the right population for maximum yield and one flat per acre price without all the hassle of programs and deadlines that get in the way of a straight-up transparent experience. Contact GHX specialist Kate Hill, 217-417-3283 for straight-up and transparent seed buying experience in 2024. Well, the score at halftime, 27-8. But the Sages, 20-8, beg your pardon. That was 20-8. I'll double check that, but 3 touchdowns I think have been scored here in the third quarter by Monticello.
I believe you're right.
Yeah, I think it was 20. Yep, it was 20-8.
Nonetheless, Monticello on the kick again.
Kind of lose track when all of a sudden it gets close to 40. I try not to think of it, quite frankly.
Yeah, I mean,
wow.
We have a hard job when it gets to these certain extents to where you try and stay positive, but just the reality is there.
Well, we've talked about that. We probably will throughout the campaign, but I have seen some small positives here this evening. And this is a pretty good Monticello team. I know they're not the upper echelon of the conference, but they can put some points on the board for sure as they have tacked 40 on. And we still got a quarter to go. All right, the Indians trying to get something going here. DeLong, quick snap, a little high, and Kerr Bowman couldn't come up with it. 2nd and 10.
He had Tim right through the hands there of Bowman as it was just a little too high to get grasped on, and a quick bullet pass out there in the flat. We'll line up and try it again here with just 42 seconds left in the 3rd quarter.
Turning the corner. Away that runner, that had to be Riley Johnson. Let's see. Sure is, number 18. He might have, I think he got to the 25. Picked up about 4, maybe 5. And I think that might be the final snap of the quarter there. That'll set up 3rd and 5 for the Indians as we switch ends and head to the final lap. At the end of 3, it's the road team in control. Monticello up 40-8 over the homecoming of the Indians. Well, they're going to get a quick snap off, boy, and dumps it off into the flat. And will that be enough? Sure does. Get turned in a corner and picking up a 1st down. I beg your pardon. That was Riley Johnson.
Actually, no, Tim, I think that's Amari Curtis.
Is that Curtis?
It is. And he got over there into the Monticello bench, but he's had knee problems on both knees, Tim. And for me right now, he's limping across the field right on our 50. So I'm not sure if that's something we're going to have to look at.
Well, the Indians faked me out, and more importantly, they faked out Monticello because they weren't paying attention. And all of a sudden, the Indians snap it. Give Coach Gadberry a kudos for that and got his team to midfield. And now we're at the quarter break. At the end of 3, Monticello up 40-8 over the Indians. It's homecoming. We'll be back. You're listening to Pontiac Indian Football in High and Central Illinois, part of the Casamigos High School Sports Network, presented by Brant Professional Agriculture and the Bank of Pontiac. All right, start of the 4th quarter. As you can imagine, with the home team down 40-8, a few fans are making their way out of the stadium. That's caught out there on the far side. That might be Ben Milchers if I saw number 32 correctly there, trying to get around the corner. Yep, Ben Melcher. That's his first target, first catch of the evening. Saturday means college football. A lot of big games tomorrow. A lot of big games. A lot of top 20 matchups, top 30 matchups.
I do know ISU has Lindenwood at home tomorrow, so just keeping it relatively close.
Yep. I got to double check. I don't even know who Illinois plays. I was so frustrated with their performance. That's Bowman. That's not Bowman. That is number 11 for the Indians. That's Tammon, Aiden Tammon.
No, Tim, you were right there. It was Bowman. He was just down.
Oh, okay. Tammon was next to him there. I didn't see him get up.
However, Tim, though, Bowman came down weird again. And I know throughout kind of some basketball season into football, he's kind of had an ankle issue, kind of walking around right now, maybe with a little bit of
maybe it's time,
hurt, but
maybe it's time to get him out of the ball game.
He's gone down a couple of awkward times, Tim, and you don't want to chance that another time. You want to save him for next week. It kind of with the sight this one has going, it may be
It might be the wise thing to do. Just the start of the fourth quarter. Just joined us, 10:43. Indians. Did not jump. That's a nice run there. That might be Alcorn, Aiden Alcorn.
Tim, I was thinking that
Alcorn is a freshman, is he not? Sure is. He ran last week.
He did.
In the second half, got some play in.
I was thinking there on that last play that it may have been him, and it is. And
instead of Curtis on there, the final play before half. Well, any event, was that Curtis? 22 is Curtis, 28 is Alcorn.
That's right.
And Coach Gadberry, when you're down by 32 points, he's getting some of the younger kids in there, getting some experience. There's Curtis running, number 22. Trying to get that first down.
I'm not sure he got it, Tim. I think he's just a yard or two.
And obviously, we have not followed Monticello all year long. Kind of tough for us to see. I still think they got some of their starters still in. I see Colbert over there on the far side. Welter, well, yep, Trey Welter's in. I think Cully Welter, the head coach of the Monticello group, still got his starters in defensively.
He may be looking to that running clock before
let's
pulling
hope.
them.
Yeah, let's hope that does not materialize tonight, but we will see. 9 minutes to go. Indians first down run. Convert on 4th and short. Nicely done. And the drive continues as they spot it at the 30. And Kerr Bowman's right back in the lineup, so he must not be banged up that bad, or he would not be back in the lineup.
Tell you what, Kerr Bowman does not like to quit, Tim.
I would agree with you.
He will. He'll go till he can't.
I watched him a lot along with a lot of those kids on that basketball team of a year ago. Ridgeview. Monticello might have jumped into the neutral zone.
They call it against the Indians.
Well, they said movement up front. That's why they jumped in the neutral zone. 5-yard walk-off against Pontiac, 8.5 to go.
Tim, I look back to this post-it note I have in front of me from Coach Gadberry this afternoon. Number 1, can't beat ourselves in penalties and turnovers. We've seen a lot of both tonight.
Yeah, the 3 interceptions certainly hurt. No doubt about it, especially 2 of those 3. In the neighborhood, that pass was attempted for Kerr Bowman. I don't know if anybody saw it coming. Set up 2nd and 15. What was key number 2?
Complimentary football, Tim. They wanted to get it all around.
With one exception of Riley for the Indians and Riley Johnson. The running game almost non-existent. Monticello really has bottlenecked that up. DeLong forgot about the football, finds the Kerr short of a first down. Might have got back to the original line of scrimmage. That'll set up 3rd and 10. I do think they hit the 3. I thought they've shown a lot of juice, a lot of emotion, which you got to play a football game with homecoming, the crowd.
Yeah, no doubt, Tim. I was about to bring that point up, too, is I really do think that playing with pride and kind of embracing homecoming and wearing the orange and blue has been shown tonight. Like you said, this second half, they've been a lot more energetic than usual and not really folding the tally too early and calling it a game. They've really showed some strides to be better.
Look out. DeLong gets outside of containment, trying to turn the corner. There's a flag. There's 3 white shirts. Here comes another flag in late. Let's see what this is all about. There might be 2 different penalties. DeLong barely got back to the line of scrimmage. the speed of the Sages came into play, and he just couldn't get around the corner. One penalty is against the Indians. Both penalties against Pontiac. Both penalties declined, and that'll set up 4th and 11 if I read the official right.
I want to give a shout out right now. I know we can see it on a display, Tim, but Ben Meyer and Logan McCabe across the booth from us.
Yes,
Giving
absolutely.
some great camera angles tonight. We're trying out some different things too, and bringing you a little closer to the referees there. That was a good look. They're on to Williamson Field, and I just want to appreciate those guys. They're behind the scenes here this evening.
4th down play, it's incomplete. The intended receiver, who else? Kerr Bowman, threw into double coverage,
And Tim, if
and the drive is over.
And Tim, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it did hit him in the back. I'm not sure if he was.
I don't know if he
ready
was ready
for
to,
it
yeah,
yet, or if he didn't know if he was the intended target, and maybe just taking some heat off someone else. But ball didn't quite get to the front side of number 4 there. He'll go back around and play defense here with 7:30 left to go in the ball game, Tim.
Yeah, Ben and myself will be heading to Tolono next week. Jake, I know you'll be with the team, and we'll connect down there.
Yeah, that's right, Tim. I'll be looking forward to being with you next week, I assume, back there at Tolono. Never actually been there for a football game in my high school career. Last time I was down there for a football game, I believe 2018, the Indians playoff run down there in Unity. I've been there plenty of times for basketball. Just last couple of years, never lined up for me to go down there here in my career, so I'm excited for it.
Well, I've never called a game there. I've witnessed a game, went down there with my broadcast partner, Mark Meyer, and his hometown. Oh, I think it was Plano. Plano played down there. He knew some kids from that area, so I tagged along with him. That was a great playoff football environment. Plano back in the day had some great teams, and Tolono Unity seems like they have them every year. So, but to be a first time that down there with Pontiac.
Yeah, I would say typically, Tim, Monticello and Tolono. Tolono more than Monticello, but always having really good football teams.
Oh, yeah, Monticello won a championship with Cully Walter. That's a few years ago. Speaking of another run by Young, it's good enough for a first down. That was 3rd and 10. And mark it at the 44. Enough for that first down. They'll move the chains. The clock continues to roll. 6.5 left. I'm sure Monticello would love to keep it on the ground. This time it's a fake. That's going to be a face mask, I'm guessing, against the Indians. I wonder if is Teskey. No, that was Young on the carry. The way that runner went down sure is. A face mask against Pontiac. That'll move the chains once again. Well, they did not move the chains. That was only a 5-yard walk-off penalty, or 5-yard penalty. Okay. I thought in high school, I had to double check. I'm sure the officials are right and I'm wrong, but I didn't think there was a 5-yard walk-off. I thought those were always double digits in terms of a walk-off, but apparently not. Learn something new every day in this game. 5:58 to go in your contest. All Monticello, 40-8. Ball's out. Indians recover. Pena. Now, I will say, Teskey is not quarterbacking anymore. It's Young that's been quarterbacking. And there was a bad exchange, and the Indians fall on it, and they'll have one more opportunity to maybe get in the end zone here. With the Monticello backups in, that play did not look smooth at all. We get a moment, certainly like to recognize tonight's sponsors once again. We'll get to that here in a moment as the Indians are set to go. King is to the right. Tammon to the left. Bowman in the slot where he usually lives. They're going to run it to Riley Johnson.
He just kind of fell over there, Tim, as he got to this left side. It got a little bit of pressure on, and it's almost like he went limp in a sense and fell down there.
Of course, thank you as always to our network sponsors, Brant Professional Agriculture and the Bank of Pontiac. Second and 8. Johnson again, and he'll get pushed back after gaining maybe 2 or 3 on the play. Other sponsors include Bob and Ringo's Grill and Smokehouse, Graymont Co-op, RE Dynamics Real Estate, Driscoll Motors, Lyons Sullivan Realty, Marlon Iltz, your country financial agent here in town, Cypress Creek Renewables, Andy Bowman, your DeKalb dealer, State Bank of Graymont, Greg Kurtenball, your State Farm Insurance agent here in Pontiac. DeLong still has it. Dump off. Hunter Melvin. Hunter Melvin should have enough for a first down.
Tim, I got some score updates for you. At the 5-minute mark in the fourth quarter, it's Bloomington Central Catholic up over Tolono Unity 42-14. So big advantage there for BCC.
Yep.
And then looking down to Fairbury and Chillicothe, 8-minute mark in the fourth quarter, it's Prairie Central up over Chillicothe 55-14.
2 big winners right there. Looks like that won't change. And again, we had earlier, it was Lexington Ridgeview up 36-0. Last score we had.
I got one more for you too, Tim. Final score of PBL and Rantoul 57-26. PBL victorious over the Eagles.
No surprise there as well. Meanwhile, on a second down play, ball falls incomplete. Should set up 3rd and 10. 3:57 to go in your contest. Well, that's going to be a movement by our left guard. That's a 5-yard walk-off. Still other fine sponsors. State Bank of Graymont, Kelly Electric, DPI Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, Stoller International, Streeter O&I's Credit Union, Victory Lanes and Slammer Grill, thank you, Scotty Banks, GHX by Golden Harvest, Cade Hill, your local dealer, and the fine friends of Indian football include Milford Hunter at the Potter Agency and JMSA Trucking. Well, after that won't be 3rd and 15. It'll be 2nd and 15. DeLong trying to find somebody and caught in the play. Kerr Bowman.
See, Tim, like we said, there's little strides of good here and good positives, and I think this is a good building block game. We've seen a lot better tackling, a lot more aggression to the ball, a little better looks as far as passing wise. Running game hasn't been there, but I think some building
Bowman's
blocks.
had a big night. He's scored our only touchdown. We don't have the numbers in front, but he has had quite a few receptions. This is Johnson going over on the left side. That should be enough for another Indian first down. .310 to go in your contest. Your final, Lexington Ridgeview all over Tremont, 51-0. Boy, a lot of blowouts tonight.
And that's on one of our sister networks, I believe Route 66 Radio. Is that correct,
That
Tim?
is correct.
Route 24 Radio.
Yeah, Route 66. Yeah, 24. Sorry, Kent.
We were close, right there in the
Well,
crossroads in Chenoa.
I really should know that.
So, yeah, sorry. I know Kent's over at IBC tonight.
IBC. Hopefully Ken didn't hear that one. You know, when it's 2:35, 40-8, sometimes the mind just
It starts to wonder.
at 9:30 at night, it's, yeah. All right. Meanwhile, 2nd and 10 for the Indians. Ball's at the 20. The kids have stayed here. Student body has stayed here. That might have been number 28. Alcorn. Sure was. Well, I hope all the kids have a great time, yourself included, my young man. Homecoming tomorrow and all the activities and such. Hope everyone is safe, everyone is cool, and everyone will have a great time. Tried to sweep on a reverse by Bowman. He had nowhere to go. Wrapped up for a loss.
Looks like he got tripped up there right behind center.
Yeah.
When he kind of got the ball, looks like he maybe kind of went over his feet. But
Monticello defender shot the gap, and Kerr never had a chance. 1:41 clock is running. Last chance for the Indians on a 4th down. 4th and 13 to be exact.
this could be the last offensive play here for Pontiac in this one.
DeLong's looking. Home run ball. Bowman. No. Monticello will take it, and they'll run the clock out here. 1:18 to go in your contest.
Yeah, Tim,
Once again, we want to thank Ben Meyer and
Logan McCabe
Logan.
over there.
Thank you.
With
Met
our camera
Logan.
work tonight.
Yep. Met Logan for the first time.
He's one of our prodigies, if you would, with PTHS TV and our crew kind of on that side of things as
Okay.
far as in-house Pontiac Township High School. Of course, our main broadcasting right now is Ion Central Illinois.
Right.
But, working within PTHS TV as well with the Pontiac Township High School. So
We appreciate it, and thank you to, of course, the Pontiac AD working behind the scenes here. That, of course, being John Neisler. Clock is running, 60 seconds to go. Monticello might have to snap it once, maybe twice here. He's got clock's down to 10 with the snap. And they'll take the knee, I'm sure. Coley Walter comes in here. Happy with the win, probably not very happy, especially in that first half with all the holding penalties they had. I think they're just going to let this thing that's it. They don't even have to snap it. All right, Jacob, appreciate it as always. Certainly not what the outcome isn't what you want, but another learning experience for a very young Indian squad. Thanks for the help. We'll see you next week in Tolono. All right, for once again, your final score, Monticello 40, Pontiac 8. The Indians fall to 1-4. We will play Tolono Unity next Friday night on the road. Monticello, they go to 3-2, 2-2 in the conference as their season moves on. You have been watching Pontiac Indian football on the Ion Central Illinois, part of the Casson Media High School Sports Network, presented by Brant Professional Agriculture and the Bank of Pontiac. Thanks for listening in. We will see you a week from tonight from Tolono. Enjoy your homecoming weekend. Good night.